Greetings, everybody, and good morning. Merhaba. Greetings from Turkey. It's May the 13th, about 11:30 here in the morning, and we're going to take a look at the overall market from a macro perspective. So, the past few days, we've had the most volatile few days that we've ever seen in crypto history. Massive drops ranging up to a 99.99% drop here. We've seen one of the biggest dips that we've ever seen in cryptocurrency history there on Luna. And one of the biggest reasons for the drop for Luna was, of course, the UST being unstable and it wasn't pegged anymore to it. So, because of mass panics and selling as well, and minting more Luna coins when UST is being sold off there, it created an unlimited supply pretty much of Luna coins. And unfortunately, they were delisted on pretty much every single market. But it didn't stop me from catching some massive opportunities where I was able to profit more than buying a pretty nice car in basically the past 3 days of trading there. So I was able to profit well over 40K, which is awesome, right? Considering the market was incredibly bearish, we have to learn how to trade properly in these types of markets. And when these types of markets drop, a lot of people's mentality is to basically catch a dip. And if you're going to try to catch a dip on a coin that's incredibly bearish with fundamental news that's flying, that should be flawed to long a position, you're going to get into some major troubles. And that's what I teach my group. I try to give people lessons. And unfortunately, Luna coin was a coin that I couldn't really give TA on, but you will be learning so much from me that you'll be prepared to handle these types of coins and just generally know what to do. So right now, I've still, so many people are asking for this, so I've got to talk about it still, right? I've got all these stragglers coming in that are asking for it, guys. If you are not in my group already, if you are not investing yourself, consider one of these packages that I have. I was able to kill it in the market. I'm going to kill it today as well because we have such a bullish day coming up ahead of us. If we just take a look at coin market cap here and we sort it by 24-hour gain, we can see some monster coins go rallying hard, like Gala, for example, ApeCoin, FTM. We've got a list of so many coins, and we might be entering a bull market because we've recently reached a beautiful support here on Bitcoin where the weekly bounced above the previous trend lines of last year in May to July, and we rejected a gigantic downtrend of over 13% already. So because of this, we might be reaching into some really high seasons because of this bounce here. And is the low over for now? Of course, short term we'll get some major volatility, but long term it's going to be a great year. I've added a dot, Axis, Sol, Ethereum, even more of it to my long-term portfolio, and it's going to be a great time for us to be looking at crypto, in my opinion. So definitely consider joining me for a possible bull market coming up. I've got two really good packages here that I'm offering to the public, and I'm only allowing a few a day to be sold, and it's first come, first serve, and there's no wait list, so it's fair to everybody. Originally, I had much lower, but because of the demand, it's got to be higher. So I've got two great packages. The 375 one right here, okay, it's going to include 6 months of Discord, 13 lessons from course version 2.0, and my book that I'll be mailing out to you as well after May the 21st here. This is really good for people that are slowly getting into the market. They don't want to invest quite a bit yet, but know for a fact that investing in yourself is by far the most important thing that you can do. If you don't invest in yourself and you start trading in the market, you're most likely going to lose everything in there. And learning from me, I'd say one of the better crypto traders out there, saying that in a very modest way, you're probably going to learn more with me in 6 months than anywhere else. And then I've got the ultimate package, of course. That's for the serious traders. What you're going to get for 1050 is a lifetime Discord with me. All 53 lessons instead of 13 from course version 2.0 and the course version 2.0 book mailed out to you as well. So the difference is basically lifetime versus 6 months, and all of my course version 2.0 versus my 13 lessons only, okay? So I'm only going to have 2 slots of this for each one today, and that's it. And then until next time, could be a few days, could be a few weeks, could be next month. I've only got 2 slots of these available, so definitely consider picking it up. I think it'll be, honestly, I'm not trying to shill it. The only reason I'm talking about this a lot, it's not for the money, guys. Trust me, the money for the profits and trading is really good. It's because I've seen so many people struggle with trading. So many people get liquidated, make the wrong decisions, and I just put myself in your shoes. I wish I had somebody to actually guide me and to help me out when I first started, but people like me, they weren't around. Like cryptocurrency was all about long-term hodl back then, not really trading, not really education much, right? And I think that a lot of the OGs in crypto, well, I don't think they're really that great of a trader. They just long-term hold and got in early. So I just wish there was someone like me back in the days to give myself a hand, right? So I'm just trying to give you guys a footing in the door, trying to protect you, trying to grow your skills as much as possible. And I just wish that I had somebody to do that for me, or some options were available back then. So I hope to see a lot of you guys pick up this package. Let's get right into this Bitcoin technical analysis and coin market cap analysis today. Okay, so we saw Luna get delisted, one of the most volatile coins of the my entire cryptocurrency history. I've never seen a more volatile coin except for BitConnect. That's probably it. We've seen 50% drops before on Bitcoin that affected tons of alts, but we've never actually seen a market drop up to 99.9% before, which is one of the scariest things that I've ever seen in my life. I know a lot of people lost their entire life savings. A lot of people tried to long at places they shouldn't have as well. And that's what I try to protect people from doing. And a lot of people try to leverage much more than they should in those types of markets. And you're going to end up getting destroyed in a market like that. That's not something that you want to do with high leveraging. Even if you played, for example, 50% of your position in a 1x, okay, just 1x leverage, basically not even leverage. That's half of the leverage. If the market spiked 200%, which it did spike 200%, we've seen it spike 1,000%, you would have been liquidated, boom, on the spot. So the most important thing to do was to trade it actually in spot, okay? To trade it in the spot market, not the actual, like if you're logging it, I mean, trade in the spot market, right? If you're shorting it, like you would have been absolutely destroyed so many times as well if it rallied. And if you shorted it, it did so many hundreds of percent moves that it would have been so easy to get liquidated. And when you're shorting, right, or when you're longing, right, and it goes against you, it moves so fast that you can't even recover. So it was really important for Luna to trade with a really small position, right? So unfortunately, it's now come and gone. I wish I could pull up my P&L just for Luna for you guys, but they took it off the futures market, right? So I can't really bring anything like that up at all. But just generally looking at the market, we can see that because Bitcoin bounced up from that $28,000 range there by about 13% so far, it ended up carrying the entire market to the upside. And because it carried the market to the upside, we're seeing every single altcoin. Just looking on this 7-day chart, right? It was so bearish that we see big parabolic rallies, big rally, big rally, big rally, big rally. Okay, so we're getting some major rallies to the upside. The market cap now is $1.289 trillion. That's a really gigantic amount. We recovered recently as well, so that's always a good thing, right? So I don't know if it's going to show it here. Let's go for the 7-day, right? So we see the 7-day here, it dipped to a low. It dipped to a low of... Actually, I'm pretty surprised right now that right now we're still at kind of a low, right? Taking a look at the 1 month, right? We were a little bit lower. We were at 1.1 trillion, and now we're slowly going back up there to about 1.3 trillion. So the cryptocurrency market is definitely recovering. We're seeing over 3 months that the market was reaching over $2.1 trillion during that major high that we saw around the April season up here, right? So we're slowly recovering. Bitcoin is reaching this low right here, okay? We're reaching this low region, and the low over here was about 28,900. We wicked way below it, so there was a very bearish type of market sentiment. But the thing is, today's Friday, so we've had basically 5 days so far in the week to try to recover from Bitcoin. And that's really important for longer term investors, not just day traders specifically. Day traders only look at the small picture, right? They look at the small picture and they say, well, the weekly doesn't matter much to me. I'm going to look on these smaller time frames, and these smaller time frames are going to give me a gauge of what I want to trade today. But for myself, because I was working on my portfolio, right? I'm keeping a good amount. If you guys are following me loosely when I talk about it, I keep a good amount in my portfolio. And when I'm updating, I'm gonna look at the bigger picture with you guys. So on the weekly, it's really important to get a gauge of what's going on with the weekly chart. This gives you a really good long-term indication of what's been going on, and also the monthly as well, of course, right? So the monthly last month, we finished off with a huge type of candle, which paved the way for a possible huge run to the downside. Right now, we're only 13 days in the month, but if this recovers slightly and we get a hammer, the bullish sentiment could be restored. The weekly chart as well here, we're getting a huge rejection of about 13% to the downside, which the sentiment is getting slowly restored, right, for the bullish side. Not only that, we got ourselves a beautiful dragonfly doji that closed yesterday. So this is definitely restoring some market sentiment to the bullish side. We're getting a little bit of a bullish RSI divergence right here. So people are loving that. The MACD is starting to tick to the upside here as well. So I believe that we're going to get some bullish movement, because if you look at the 8-hour, the MACD has actually crossed up already. Despite it being a lagging indicator, of course, we're still going to rely on it to an extent as well, okay? So I believe that Bitcoin has definitely made a recovery at this particular range, at the $28,800, $900 range by 13%, which rallied the entire market to the upside. That's wonderful news. So we're getting some major gains altogether. Just taking a look at CoinMarketCap here, we're just seeing overall, we sort it by the 24-hour here, massive gains all across the board. Coins recovering better, some coins recovering better than others, of course. So I've got some really hot picks today already to trade with the group. Okay, I've got some really hot picks such as Mana. Of course, I want to trade the most volatile coins. You always want to go for the most volatile coins, because if you don't go for them and you're trading the non-volatile coins, there's less movement, which allows you more room for error. So if you're trading, for example, a coin that moved 5%, right? 5% for example, in the past 3 hours, right? You're gonna have to, there's less margin for error for your entries. So you've got to get a precise entry and a precise exit to maybe capitalize on a small percentage of that 5%. But if a coin moves 40 to 50%, I find it easier to catch a trade in the middle of that 40 to 50% movement. Even if you caught 2 or 3% of that, it's still a bigger number than 2 to 3% of a small number. So that's what I always recommend. Just the general rules that I always like to talk about are the breakout strategies and what we should be watching for whenever we see a big bullish movement to the upside, just like this. So I always talk about the Elliott wave theory, right? The Elliott wave theory is broken down into 5 wave fractals for impulse movements on the most basic level, okay? So this one right here, we're most likely going to miss it. We're most likely going to miss this rally going to the upside, because who catches these breakouts? They're really rare to catch, okay? And then after that, the second one forms. A lot of people may notice the first wave breakout. If they notice a big first wave breakout, what a lot of people will do is they'll buy a dip on the second wave here. But that may not even happen as well, because, for example, the movement on wave 1 here might only be 10% and you'll miss it. So you might not even catch a dip. So what people notice more is the breakout above the wave 1 territory. You should always right click, go to add alert, go to every time, go to greater than, make sure your sounds are actually working, okay? Make sure they're working so you can hear your alerts. Set your alert always above this wave 1 territory. That's extremely important, okay? Not only that, set your alert for above the wave 3 territory as well in case a breakout happens, okay? And then so whenever a breakout happens above this wave 1 territory there, you should be really interested in possibly longing it with a very tight stop just for below this wave 1 territory, okay? And then after that, the wave 3 forms. A lot of people look for a dip on the wave 4. That's a really common play for you to see as well here. And another common one that people might employ is trading the breakout above wave 4. I generally don't trade this as much unless the coin is extremely bullish. If the coin is really bullish, I'm definitely going to trade the third wave breakout. Now, let me give you a really good example of what I'm looking for today that I plan to trade with the group. So what I plan to look at today is a possible breakout for these coins right here. Now, this has got to be a 1 in here somewhere. It's a complicated and a sloppy 1, but in my opinion, the 1 is definitely somewhere in there. Because if we look at it on a different time frame, right, that looks like it's a 1. And then I see a clear-cut resistance for a possible 5 wave. So I'm looking for either a breakout of this wave, that's why my alert's up there, or a retracement to the downside and assume that an impulse 5th wave is going to form today. So that's the general assumption for all of my trades today. Okay, so in every coin is pretty much looking like this as well. But of course, it takes precision and timing to actually get it down. Okay, so I hope that you guys are definitely going to consider joining my group. I just want to give you guys a general vibe of the market and what's been going on lately. And it's very bullish in my opinion, bouncing above the 27 or $28,900 range. And now that Luna's been delisted, a lot of people are gonna turn their attention to another coin to trade now that there's no point, right? Luna took up everybody's time and attention for the past few days, moving on to the next hot thing, and that's going to be the altcoin market, because Bitcoin is slowly lifting up every single coin right now. And you got to ask yourself, guys, what are you going to do in this bull market, right? If it's a bull market, because we did recover 13%, even if it's a small bounce, a short-term one, what are you going to do? Just come trade with me, guys. I'm going to make sure it's worth your time. I'm always on like 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I love to trade. It's a passion of mine. It's something that I can do every single day without being tired. It's something that I never get bored of. And my ultimate goal is to help people succeed as a trader, because I ultimately want to see everybody do well and share my success as well. So definitely consider this package of mine. If you haven't invested in yourself yet, if you don't have any courses at all, consider getting mine, because I think it's going to be one of the best investments that you can possibly make, because I put in a lot of time, effort, and love into making something that I know can help people. So once again, there's these two packages. One's $375, one's $1050. And the only difference between them is one comes with a lifetime Discord with me. And I plan to be here for years, guys. At least 4 more years. For sure, because I love doing what I do too much. And this one also comes with all 53 lessons instead of just the 13. And you guys can pay by credit card or crypto. It's up to you. So I hope to see a lot of you guys in my group. Stay safe. Enjoy this bull market while we have it for now, because it's been a long time since we've seen green all across the board. But instead of seeing red all across the board like we did for the past 3 days. So I'll see you guys soon and have a great day. Be safe, and more importantly, be profitable. And by the way, if you love my videos, make sure you like it, make sure you share it, make sure you subscribe to it. It's just it's just how the algorithm works. I want to get my videos out to more people. Bye now. Take care.